This time around, we're gonna talk about using ChatGPT or any other AI tool for that matter in your course creation journey. Let's talk about all things using AI in your course creation process. So here's the thing, when it comes to the question, should you use an AI tool of any kind in the process, I used to be very against it. And my reasoning was because I absolutely believe in creating authentic content. And if you are here listening to this and you know you want to create a course based on your experience and your knowledge, my thought was that I want for you to bring what you know, how you see it with your vibe within the course, right? And for me, especially in the very beginning when AI just got popular, it felt like cheating of some kind. And it felt like you're basically just using what anyone can find within either of these AI tools themselves and putting it in the content versus actually creating the course yourself, right? There's a very fine line. However, with time and actually exploring these tools myself, I have come to a conclusion that there are many great creative ways how you can use these tools to help you in the process. They can help you to brainstorm. They can help you to find the direction that you couldn't really think of in any other way. They can help you to potentially go through any specific struggles or roadblocks, and in general just help you to see that bigger vision, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed at some point. And while this time around I'm more focused on specifically the content creation part and like the brainstorming, the outline, the curriculum part, there of course are plenty of great AI tools for creating the content as well. Actual like the designing part, the even the when it comes to video content, there are plenty of AI tools that will help you to create better video content, create the subtitles, create any kind of specific effects, and so on. I'm not gonna go into that, but just be aware that yes, those options also exist. And honestly, AI these days is such a big thing that there are plenty of these options out there. So what I want you to just keep in mind is that there are plenty of creative ways to use AI. You just have to find what works for you. And here in this episode, I just want to start with some of the first steps that you can do and actually explore as you are on your course creation journey. But again, depending on your exact needs, there probably are plenty of other tools that you can consider as well. Okay, so before I dive into some specific samples, I want to just give you a key pointers and some main things to keep in mind. So what we are not here to do, and I want to emphasize this, we're not here to use AI to fully generate your whole course, okay? Anyone who is interested in your topic can go on ChatGPT or any other AI tool and ask the questions and get the same answers that you might get as a course creator, okay? So you still want most of your course be based on your experience, your knowledge, your vibe. However, you can learn to use AI tools in a way that is effective, that is making you more productive, more creative, and just bringing you solutions that will help you to actually push through the whole process, right? So one thing that is important to know about AI, that you have to be specific, and AI is a tool that is built based upon information that is already available out there, right? However, you can also, as you start using any of the AI tools, by everything you write, they learn more information. For example, when it comes to specifically ChatGPT, right now, just recently, there's this new feature where it literally just memorizes what you have said. This means that whatever you have written, like the first prompt you gave, the first description of anything, the first story, it will have it stored in its memory. And yes, it is a bit creepy. It is a bit creepy and it can be a bit scary. But again, I just feel like we have to learn to use these tools to our advantage. And if you want to learn more specific like prompts and get more specific ideas, make sure to join us inside that membership, where next week we're having the live call, the live masterclass, and after that you'll still have it available inside the recording as well. So when it comes, again, back to the AI, when it comes to training AI or improving its memory, again, it's important that you're being specific. So you do not want to go to the same ChatGPT. You know, it's a free tool. Open it right now. It will be directly available to you. You do not want to go there and say, I want to create a nutrition course. Yes, it will give you an outline, it will give you ideas, but you want to be as specific as possible. Tell a bit more about yourself. What specific topics you focus on? What is like your mindset when it comes to teaching nutrition? What are most of your clients? For example, what is your ideal target audience? Who do you mostly work with? What do your clients love most about working with you? Mention all of these details, and yes, this will literally be just sitting down and like writing it all out. Mention all of these details and then ask for the outline to be created. Now, the next thing when it comes to this training of the AI, remember that you can always reference what you have already written. So let's say you asked for that curriculum outline and it gives you like 20 lessons and you're like, no, this is way too much. There's too much focus on one specific topic. I want it to be more condensed. Now you tell it, okay, this was great job. You know, there's this joke that we always want to be polite with AI because they might take over the world one day. So you're saying, okay, this is perfect, let's move on. However, I would like for the lessons to be shorter. I do not want to be over focusing on this one specific topic. There are some things missing, for example, this and that. And I would prefer if at the end of each module, there's also, you know, a specific recap or an action task or a workbook with a specific focus. Can you include that in this curriculum, in this plan, in this idea? Now you are referencing what was already done, and this tool can see what improvements you want to make. However, of course, you don't have to always rely on the tool itself, right? You can always just get that base, and I'm not like curriculum is just one of the samples, and I will go into some other ones as well. But like having idea about what to put in the course, how the curriculum could look like, what could be the outline, how could the lessons be called, and so on. So as you're in this process, you don't have to also rely on the tool giving you the correct final answer, right? You can just use it as a base and then work it from there, because often we're just so stuck in our little bubble of what we know, how we're used to doing things, and we just don't really see beyond that. And using a tool like AI, it can be super helpful for you to literally just open up your horizons and like just see other opportunities. And if you do have any like real life experience with, for example, you're working with a coach, or maybe you have like a mastermind group, or you have like close colleagues that you can discuss all of this with, you can do that as well, right? You don't have to go to AI tool for everything, and you can have this like third party insight, or like just the other person's insight from anyone else as well. However, if you are working alone, you're, spending most of your time at home, as many of us are, or your general interactions with like people within the same field are limited, you can use ChatGPT or any other AI tool to help you get new ideas. Now, while I really went into that whole deal about the curriculum, I want to take a step back and talk a bit more about those key elements to keep in mind. So first of all, never just use whatever it's giving you. That is very generic, very basic information. Be very specific about the things you're asking. Use that opportunity that they usually have some level of memory or understanding. And I use the word understanding loosely, as I personally don't believe that, robots can understand to the level that we might mean by this word, but okay, I'm not gonna go into that topic. Either way, the AI systems are very, very smart, okay? Just keep that in mind. Keep in mind that what you write, they read, they memorize, they can use that information and play around with this fact. And the last but not least on this list, don't rely fully on AI to produce your content, produce all the base. It's your course, it's your vibe. You have to come with your knowledge, right? However, again, there are just plenty of ways how you can use it to brainstorm, to get new ideas and so on. Let me give you some more samples. So first of all, you can work on different directions for your course. Let's say you have a course idea, you have been working within a specific field and like you have an idea or two, but you're uncertain what it might be that you actually want to pursue. So what you can do, you can go on ChatGPT and ask within your field, for example, what are the most popular courses? Within your field, what are like the most successful, the most well-known courses? Which courses have the best results? Which courses like the internet is talking about the most? And you will see some real-life samples. You can give your specific experience, your specific background, and ask for course ideas or group program topic ideas, or in general, like the focus ideas. Maybe you know your direction, you know what you want the course to be all about, but you're unsure about like that bigger goal to offer. You can ask AI to create that bigger goal for you. And again, it doesn't mean that you're taking it and running with it and this is how you're going to create a course. No, you're taking this information and then you consider, does this work? Is this a great new idea? Is this a great direction I can take? Or maybe I would like to revamp this, and maybe it showed you what exactly you don't want to do, right? This information can be used in so many different ways. So anyhow, you have brainstormed your direction, you get your ideas. Now for the outline. So I already discussed the outline quite a lot. Using ChatGPT or any other AI tool is a great way to help you with the outline, because many aspiring course creators struggle with this part the most. You may have a lot of ideas and a lot of different directions, but you're unsure how to actually create a step-by-step guidance or how to organize your content in a way that will make sense. So in this case, you can even try to write out all the details you want to include. And yes, it can be a lot of writing, okay? So you can try to write out all the ideas you want to include, like all the topics, all the questions, and then ask ChatGPT or any other tool to create this outline. And again, we're reviewing it, we're revamping it, we're adjusting it to your needs. And then you can move on with a clear vision for how your course is going to look like. Or again, you just get the opposite. You can see maybe a generic way how this type of a course will be created. And instead of following that route, you choose to do something completely different. So besides the content creation part and besides the curriculum and the outlines and ideas, you can also ask ChatGPT to help you with some specific elements that you are struggling with. For example, you have a specific lesson that is missing a detail. You can write out the outline of the lesson and ask, how can I improve it? What is missing? Maybe take a step back and you're creating lesson outline in general and you want to make sure that your outline makes sense. So ask ChatGPT what would make the best sense, like for my specific audience with this specific topic, what should I always include in my lessons? Like what kind of a pace will make the most sense? And obviously, again, I have to just repeat myself that I wouldn't always rely on these answers fully. I wouldn't just blindly follow whatever's being said, but this can open up your mind to new ideas. And that's why I started using ChatGPT myself. And that's why I love using it these days. That is my, almost like my assistant right away. There's this one space where I can just go and ask for some new ideas, some new directions, some clarity, there's just so much that really you can get from it. And I know that especially if you're uncertain about this direction, it can feel a bit scary to actually start relying on an AI tool. I was there and I was completely against it altogether. But as I started discovering how it works for me and where can I actually use it myself, the more it made actually sense in my business. Now we're gonna jump over the content creation part, so I'm not gonna go into like ideas of how to create the lessons or design or videos or anything along these lines, but I want to jump to the final part of actually getting ready for the launch. And again, I just want to remind you to join us inside your course creation membership to watch more ideas with like more specific prompts, not only how to use ChatGPT, but also how I have used it specifically and what are like specific things you can do to improve the information you're getting from it. All of that will be happening live next Thursday, which is, I think it's the 3rd of October, but again, I'm just guessing. It's gonna be next Thursday, but from there on, it's also gonna be available inside the membership. And until September, you can still join the membership for only $33 quarterly. So, okay, now we're jumping to the launch part. Let's say you're getting ready to launch, and another big roadblock for most creators is the emails. What to write in the launch emails. This is the perfect way to use ChatGPT. Go there, explain your course, explain your idea, explain your ideal audience, what it is that you do. Always give that background and then say, please create like outline for 7 emails, or not even the outline, but create the plan for 7 emails I can send to my audience to actually sell this product. Later, you can also ask for the outline for each of the emails. And again, don't just put that email out there and send it. Make sure it adjusts to your vibe and you are adding the information that is important for you. However, this can create many great ideas and help you in the process of done. And the last but not least that I want to mention in this specific episode is that you can ask ChatGPT to outline your promotional materials. For example, Instagram stories. Ask ChatGPT what type of Instagram stories you should create, what information you should add in these stories. And to be fair, a lot of this is something that you can also find, for example, inside your course creation membership. But even as you look at some prompts and some samples, you still might be stuck with your specific ideas, right? So you can use these AI tools to generate some more of those ideas and then take it from there. So my general conclusion is that no matter what it is that you're working on, there are plenty of great ways how you can use ChatGPT and any other AI tools. I think it's important not to jump in on it for everything and have it as like your main guiding light from here on. It's important to figure out what do you need the most help with, where you currently are, like that can be your starting point, and see what are some things that ChatGPT can provide from you here and now. That being said, I would also want to encourage you to like play around with it, no matter what it is that you're working on or thinking about working on. If you go there, just type something and then you get like very generic answer, see what more you can get from it, see where else it can take you. Now that will be it from me for this time. If you have any questions or comments about this podcast episode, you can always reach out to me on Instagram at Course Creation Lab. I hope to see you inside your course creation membership as well. You will find the link to join in the description. And if there's any other topic you would love to hear more about, let me know as well. That will be it for this time, and I hope to see you in the next episode.